know that desperation when you see your bills piling up and you think, how am I going to pay all this? Well, you're not alone. Adult life, with its debts, teaches us that money seems to slip through our fingers like wet sand. But what if I told you that there is a way to turn this game around, and fast? Don't worry, I'm not talking about a pyramid scheme or a winning lottery ticket. I'm talking about a mental technique that is as powerful as it is simple, and that has already transformed the lives of ordinary people like you and me. Inspired by the teachings of Louise Hay, this method breaks with everything you've ever heard about how to achieve financial freedom. Forget sweat and sacrifice as the only paths. In this text, we'll explore a process that involves natural visualization, a change of mindset, and yes, even a little prayer and faith. It's not about believing in magic, but in yourself and in the energy of money. Are you ready to discover how it's possible to manifest abundance and align yourself with the true flow of prosperity? You know when you hear stories about people who turned their lives upside down overnight and think, that's just a fabrication? Well, it really does sound like something out of a movie, but it's not. The truth is that there is a secret key that many people use without even realizing it: financial manifestation. No, we're not talking about working 18 hours a day or creating incredible spreadsheets. We're talking about accessing a mental state of abundance, where money starts flowing not because you chase it, but because it starts coming to you. This change starts within, with prayer and faith, truly believing that you deserve more and that it is possible. Now, take a deep breath and imagine, what would your life be like if a large amount of money landed in your account? It's hard to even imagine, right? But that's where the magic begins. When you stop seeing money as something distant and unattainable, and start seeing it as part of your daily life, like air that you breathe, everything changes. This is the essence of the wealth mindset that Louise Hay taught so much about. It's not about waiting to win the lottery, it's about installing a new operating system in your mind. A mental technique that makes room for the flow of money to become as natural as drinking coffee in the morning. Have you ever stopped to think that what's keeping you from wealth might not be a lack of effort, but the type of thinking you carry around every day? Well, yes. There are many people working hard as ever, but still don't see money coming. And do you know why? Because financial success is not just a question of action, but of thought patterns. Louise Hay talked about this a lot. It's not enough to wish for more. You need to think in a way that is aligned with the energy of money. Money responds to the way you feel and think about it. If you see it as scarce, difficult, distant, guess what? It will continue to be all of these things. But don't worry, there's light at the end of the tunnel. The key is to start observing your own thoughts more consciously. How many times a day do you tell yourself that you're broke, that money only comes with suffering, or that only the lucky ones prosper? These are the mental blocks that accumulate and sabotage your financial self-confidence. Reprogramming these patterns is like changing the lenses through which you see life. You start to see opportunities where you used to see obstacles, and money becomes a natural consequence of this new vision. One of the most silent and most dangerous mistakes on the path to financial manifestation is the so-called unworthiness complex. Deep down, the person believes that they're not good enough to be rich, that they need to suffer more, work harder, or prove something else to the world before they deserve it. This, my friend, is what we call being stuck in the scarcity trap. And it's a cruel illusion. Money doesn't come to you because you deserve it or not, it's energy in motion, and this energy responds to how you position yourself internally. As long as you are trying to convince the universe that you are worthy, you will continue to vibrate in need. Another classic trap is to think that manifesting is synonymous with stuffing yourself with techniques, rituals, and affirmations every second of the day. Some people complicate things so much that they become hostage to practice. The truth is that the universe is not waiting for you to say the perfect phrase with the right candle at the right time of the morning, afternoon, or night. It is waiting for clarity and emotional alignment. This is much more powerful than any mantra recited automatically. What blocks the flow is not the lack of action, but the confusion and desperation with which you act. So, breathe, simplify, and remember, manifesting is natural, like the natural visualization that we will talk about in a moment. Now tell me, how many times have you thought, I want money or I need money? It seems harmless, right? But that's where the trick lies. This type of thinking, despite seeming positive, actually emanates lack, need, scarcity. And what you emit, you attract. The turning point happens when you change from wanting to allowing. That's right, allowing the flow of money into your life as something natural. Just like breathing, you don't wake up wondering if the air will be available, right? Well, it's this same tranquility that needs to be applied to your relationship with money. Louise Hay said that the universe responds better to a peaceful mind than to an anxious one. That's because the state of permission sends a clear signal, I'm ready. When you stop chasing after it and start aligning yourself internally, prosperity flows much more easily. It's not about giving up on your goals, but about changing your focus from need to certainty. And that's when the wealth mindset really starts to take hold, giving space for money to find its way to you, without forced effort, without agony, just presence and intention. If there's one thing people overcomplicate, it's this so-called visualization. People imagine castles, cars, yachts, but with that butterflies in their stomach of, will I ever get there? And then, my friend, the universe only captures the emotion behind the image. There's no point in dreaming big with your heart clenched with fear or doubt. The secret is in natural visualization, the kind you do like someone looking at the weather forecast, without attachment, without anxiety. You visualize your full bank statement, feel the peace of knowing that everything is flowing and that's it. No drama, just tranquility. This practice is simple, but transformative. Imagine yourself buying something you want with the same calmness you would buy bread at the bakery. See yourself helping someone generously, without making a fuss. The more normal the act of living in abundance becomes, the faster your subconscious will accept this new reality. And it's worth remembering that the subconscious is the one in charge. This is the magic behind the mental technique taught in the video, transforming the extraordinary into everyday life and making wealth as common as your morning coffee. Have you ever stopped to think about how many habits you do automatically, like brushing your teeth or unlocking your cell phone? Well, that's exactly the level of naturalness that your relationship with money needs to reach. And it all starts with small daily practices that reinforce your wealth mentality. One powerful tip is the so-called wealth breathing. Every time you spend money, whether it's on a cup of coffee or a big bill, take a deep breath and think, more money is coming back to me. Sounds too simple to work? It's precisely because it's simple that the subconscious accepts it easily. Another practice that transforms is to review your day before going to sleep, but with the eyes of someone who lives in abundance. Instead of focusing on what you lacked, be grateful for what money has already provided: a roof over your head, food, even that treat you gave yourself. This reinforces the thought pattern of true gratitude, which is born from the certainty that more is coming. These rituals are not magical in themselves. The magic happens when you repeat them so much that your brain starts to believe and feel them as true. It is through this consistency that financial self-confidence is built, which attracts opportunities in an almost inexplicable way. Everyone, without exception, carries some kind of emotional block when it comes to money. And look, sometimes we don't even realize that we are sabotaging ourselves. A classic example is that automatic thought of "this is too good to be true." This type of belief is like a mental antivirus that blocks the flow of money before it even arrives. And do you know what's even crazier? These mental blocks usually have old roots, phrases we heard in childhood, experiences of failure, fear of criticism. To change this, the first step is to identify it, and the second, to question it. Does this fear still make sense? Another enemy in disguise is the fear of one's own success. Yes, it exists. There are people who unconsciously avoid prospering because they are afraid of losing friends, changing their lives too much, or attracting envy. But here's a liberating truth. Money only amplifies who you already are. If you're generous, it will help you even more. If you're ethical, it will multiply your positive impact. So, if you notice this type of resistance, talk to it. Literally. Thank it for trying to protect you, but tell it that you're now choosing to grow. It's this internal dialogue that unlocks the path to prosperity and connects you with true financial freedom. You know that good feeling that appears out of nowhere, even when your bank balance hasn't changed yet. Well, keep an eye out, because this could be the first sign that your financial manifestation has started to take off. The feeling comes before reality, and that's exactly where the secret lies. You start to feel lighter when spending, more confident when investing, and even more hopeful when paying a bill. All of these are signs that your mind is vibrating at a new frequency, that of the flow of money. And when the inside changes, the outside doesn't take long to follow. Soon after come the coincidences which, let's be honest, are anything but coincidental. It could be someone offering you a business idea, an unexpected payment, or even a symbolic gift. The universe starts testing you like, will you keep believing? And the more firm you are in your wealth mindset, the more these signs intensify. Even the way people treat you changes, more respect, more doors opening. And when you realize that you no longer need to wait for signs, because you already feel like you're on the right path, oh, my friend, that's when abundance knocks on your door for good. There comes a time when you understand. It's not about learning yet another technique. It's about deciding that now is the time. This is the final step, and also the most powerful. Accepting that you are ready to allow prosperity to enter your life. The video invites us to make a commitment to change, to this new way of thinking and feeling. It's not about miracles. It's about repetition with intention. Louise Hay once said, "The universe responds to the vibration of our certainty, not to the despair of our doubts." And if you've come this far, it's because you're ready to stop asking and start receiving. So, let's make this pact with yourself. Don't wait for the perfect moment or be absolutely sure. Clarity comes in the movement. Start with small thoughts. Money flows to me easily. I am a magnet for opportunities. My financial freedom is already underway. Repeat, feel, live this. The law of attraction doesn't play favorites. It responds to those who align themselves. And from today on, you have the key, you have the path, and you have the power. Now just take the first step and trust that the universe will take care of the rest. So, are you ready to stop surviving and start truly thriving? Because what you learned here is not just another motivational content, it is a call. An invitation to rewrite your financial story based on the mindset of wealth, not scarcity. The question that remains is, will you put this into practice or put it off again? Imagine what your life would be like in a few months if you consistently applied all these steps. The abundance you desire is already there, just waiting for your permission to manifest. So start today. Now, breathe like someone who is prosperous. Think like someone who is already free. And feel as if everything you desire is already in your hands, because it is closer than you imagine. If this content touched you in any way, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share it with someone who also deserves this transformation. The journey is just beginning, and I will be here to accompany you every step of the way.